Two innocent citizens who are positively infected with the coronavirus are said to have made contact with a Japanese citizen, and this Japanese citizen is currently undergoing a quarantine process in Malaysia. Here is the timeline of how the Japanese citizen and also two innocent citizens who tested positive for the corona then met until they finally contracted coronavirus. We will sit together with this. This is quoted from Malaysia, Male Director General of Health, Ministry of Health, Malaysia, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said that Japanese citizens who are positive for corona have a history of travel to Japan in January. We see together with him in January. This Japanese citizen ever or traveled to Japan. Then what happened? Next we will go to the 14th of February, because here there was an incident where this Japanese citizen and also one of the residents of Depok, who was 31 years old, was later declared by the Indonesian government from this point that he was positive for the coronavirus. He had met and also attended a dance party. His location at that time was in Jakarta, and this took place on February 14, 2020, and according to the Minister of Health of the Republic Indonesia, Terawan Agus Putranto, these two people have the status of friend. Then we will see another meeting or timeline. We will go to the 7th of February 2020. What happened to the Japanese citizen after the meeting on 14 February? It turned out that this Japanese citizen flew back to Malaysia, and he was now to be working there. On the 17th of February, he began to show symptoms of fever symptom, where this fever symptom is one of the symptoms that are acquired or usually felt by patients infected with the new type of coronavirus or COVID-19. He then received treatment. Then on the 20th of February, what happened? It turned out that this Japanese citizen must be drowned at a private hospital in Malaysia. There is one private hospital there, and after undergoing a medical test in Malaysia, it turned out that in the end, on the February 20, the Japanese citizen tested positive for the coronavirus, and his body after that he was in isolation in the hospital, which is located in Kuala Lumpur. That was a trip for a Japanese citizen who had come to Indonesia, then interacted with an Indonesian citizen, who later found out that he was infected with the coronavirus. Then what about the journey of a Depok resident who had contact with their Japanese citizen while in Jakarta? After the meeting on February 14, which was purposely conveyed by me, the Depok resident only saw symptoms in the form of cough, shortness of breath, and also fever on February 16. After feeling the symptoms, he was out to one of the hospital, so he went to the doctor and during a patient care for the and during outpatient care for 10 days, he also made contact on February 26 with his mother, was age 64 years. The two of them were then treated and also treated in a hospital in Depok to be registered on 26 February 2020. But what was the diagnosis from the hospital? At that time, they both turned out to be diagnosed with bronchitis. So with the symptoms mentioned include nausea, coughing. The doctor who was there then diagnosed the two patients, namely a 64-year-old mother and a 31-year-old child with bronchitis. Then what happened on 28 February finally? This Depok resident made telephone contact. Japanese citizen who had been infected with the corona had called the Depok resident. He also stated that he was positively infected with the coronavirus. What the resident of Depok did afterward? What was done afterward was, after hearing this news, that the two Depok residents were then moved to the Cipta Solar Infection Hospital to be into 99 last February. What was done? One March, then these two patient took a medical test, which was also taken specimen to the carried out laboratory test with the coronavirus, then this sample was sent to lead bankers. And the result, we know together this morning we are the same knowing the result of the lab tests that have been carried out on these two Indonesian citizens, that they both turned out to be positive for the coronavirus. One thing that needs to be learned is definitely a lot of effort we can do to prevent the spread of the coronavirus can be done by maintaining personal sanitation. Make sure you always wash your hand with a hand sanitizer or hand sanitizer that contain alcohol and avoid it as much as possible to them. Make contact from hands that are exposed to the dirt and then hold your face, and also the government advice to avoid public places and also contact that are deemed unnecessary.